I'm here with
Pierre.
Pierre. Great to meet you, Pierre. Tell me about your background.
Yeah, I'm half Irish, half French. Grew up between the two countries essentially. Most of my childhood, teenage years were spent in France.
Which is?
Aged 9 to 18.
How do you feel about France hosting or Paris hosting the Olympics?
Look, I think it's cool. I mean, I've always loved the Olympics. Kind of looking forward to it, but at the same time, seeing the state the country's been in the past couple of years, seeing that our public services have been degraded, and we're spending $10 billion on the Olympics. It feels like money that has been misplaced. But at the same time, I'm still going to be watching the ceremony. I'm still going to be watching the game. So I think that's how a lot of people feel as well.
Do you have any personal connections to the games? Are you going? You know anyone taking part?
Nope, I don't.
And what does it mean for you as a French citizen to see France, Paris host the Olympics?
Look, I guess it's a point of pride. I guess the whole world will be watching the city, which is great. Hope that it reflects well. But at the same time, I think it's kind of a tense political situation at the moment. So I think a lot of tourists might feel a little bit like, what the hell is going on over here? Do you know what I mean? But otherwise, yeah, it's cool.
What are you most excited about the 2024 Paris Olympics?
I'm excited to watch the basketball. I think France is a good team this year. I think there's been a lot of pressure on the French football this year because they got like Thierry Henry and he's got this squad of players and it's hard for him to find a team, put them together. So a lot of pressure on them. I don't think he's like a great manager, to be honest. I'm excited to see what they've been cooking. You know.
How do you think the French team will do? Are they in the same half of the draw as USA or no?
Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't seen the draw.
Because USA versus France would be interesting. Victor Wembanyama versus the whole of Team USA would be interesting, but Team USA probably have the advantage there.
I'd say so, but look, home field advantage counts for something, right?
Yeah, it's true. How do you think the Olympics, or how do you know that the Olympics is going to impact Paris and its residents?
It's going to be a big pain for everyone living there. They're restricting zones around the city where citizens can't go, which is weird. I think everyone's pissed off, to be honest. It's nice to see from afar. I don't live around Paris anymore. I think it's going to have a big impact economically either, because Paris profits so much from tourism anyway. So I don't think that the Olympics are going to make some kind of big boost in the economy. So honestly, I think it's kind of a net negative for everyone living there. But for the rest of the world watching it, great entertainment.
Where in France do you live when you live in France?
I live north of Paris, like near in the Oise region, probably near Chantilly. If anyone is from Chantilly, shout out.
How do you think Paris has done in terms of preparing for the Olympics?
It seems to me like the whole thing about getting the Seine clean, that was a huge mess, and they've just barely gotten over the finish line. It feels like that was kind of suspicious how they just got it done in the last couple of weeks or two. I saw the mayor was swimming in there. Hopefully she's okay now.
How do you think the 2024 Olympics will showcase France to the world?
Hopefully positively, but I think they're going to see a lot of propaganda. At the same time, like there's going to be protests, there's going to be strikes, there's going to be all this sort of stuff, and that is France. So I think they're going to see a realistic image.
What French elements are you excited to see shown during the games?
I'm always, surprised by what they put on the opening ceremony, because you can't be like over the top propaganda, but at the same time you need to show the culture. So I'm hoping to see the art, music, maybe some like French celebrities come out. Hoping to see a good parade. It should be a spectacle of art and culture, which is kind of what France is most famous for. Hoping to be surprised.
Who's your favorite French celebrity and why?
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk, are they French?
They're French.
I don't know that. Okay.
No, Daft Punk are French.
They always wear masks. Right? I'm supposed to know they're French. You learn something every day. I only listen to a certain type of music. My bad, people. My bad. What do you like about Daft Punk?
Oh, and they make banging tunes, Yeah.
Do you feel Paris is ready in terms of safety and security for the games, for its residents and participants?
I guess to some extent you have to kind of trust the police force and local authorities. It's going to be maximum security. I think after the past 10 or so years, there's been tragic events that are happening related to terrorism in France. So I would hope to God that they have this under control. I don't think it should be an issue. Fingers crossed,
What lasting legacy do you hope the Paris 2024 Olympics will leave for the city and its residents and France overall?
I don't know, because it's not really for the residents, is it? It's not really for Paris. It's for France as a nation, it's for PR, it's for sport, it's for entertainment. But I know French people, and I know they're just going to be off, I guess, at the whole thing. Look, I hope we can look back at it and say, we put on a great show. It was one of the better Olympics. It was memorable. But as far as the residents, it's not like they're getting a piece of the pie. Like I said, $10 billion spent. Not like that's going towards social services or people who actually live in the city anyway.
Maybe that's something you'd like to see done. Some work towards supporting people within Paris from the Olympics somehow.
Not just Paris, just the whole country. I mean, like I said, we just sank a lot of money that we desperately need in our public services down the drain that we spent on a big PR event. So I would hope that the new government invests future tax money and back into the people.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I'm here with
Clem, Lucy.
What's your connection to France?
We have a French mum.
Yeah, sisters?
Yeah, we're sisters.
Oh, nice, cool.
We spend a lot of time in France.
Spots.
Well, we're from Normandy and Bretagne, Guérande, Paris.
Okay.
So more the northern and middle parts.
How do you feel about France hosting the Olympics?
I think in theory it's a great thing, but I think there's a lot of negative impacts on the environment and the residents living in France because it's such a small city.
What kind of negative impact or environmental impact do you think it will have? can?
Environmentally, I just think they're trying to build loads of things in one go in already a small city. So I think for the local environment and air pollution, noise pollution, that kind of thing, I think it's a lot. I think they should be pouring money into people that can't find homes, that can't have homes or sustain homes, and not just building loads of new infrastructure. So they should make it ecological for the future, and I don't think they've really done that as much.
I'm actually moving to Paris in September.
What takes you to Paris in September?
I'm going to uni for 3 years. It's quite nice, but at the same time, it's the fact that I can't find somewhere to live when I'm a student because people are coming in to watch the Olympics. And I know that when I move to Paris, it's going to be all of the left over is going to be there. I think it's actually a good thing. It's nice for France to have, I don't really follow that much sport. We haven't hosted that much, especially as like a British French person, there's always that rivalry. So it's nice. And I think the Olympics is not good for the environment anyways, but to have it in our country is nice. I'm looking forward to it.
What are you most excited about the 2024 Paris Olympics?
To be honest, I'm not gonna go watch any of it.
Not even on TV?
Oh yeah, for sport-wise, I like to watch the gymnastics, the swimming and athletics.
I'd say, yeah, gymnastics, equestrian and athletics.
Do you do any sports? Any of those?
I do pole dancing, pole fitness.
Okay, that's not Olympic sport, but you know, not at the moment. And how do you think Paris has prepared for the Olympics?
Badly. I mean, the whole Seine scandal, getting everyone to swim in the Seine, I think is kind of crazy, but honestly, creds to them for giving it a go and like trying to make it work. Putting up the Navigo, like Pass Navigo to like an extortionate price so that everyone has to pay the money to travel around, I think is a bit cheeky.
I think the aftermath of the Olympics is going to be worse, prices and everything like that.
How do you think the Paris 2024 Olympics will showcase French culture to the world?
I don't think it will. You know, Paris depression, people have an idea of Paris, what it should look like, how it should be, everyone should be in love. That's not it, you know, and I think a lot of people think like, oh, I have the baguette and the croissant and the coffee. But first of all, Parisians are kind of known to be a little bit hostile, and I think it's not a bad thing. You know, Londoners are mostly hostile compared to everywhere else in the UK. But I think it's going to be that thing where, but I don't think people are really going to look for the culture. I think it's for the sport, and I think they'll maybe be disappointed.
I think they'll do their best, and I think with the architecture of Paris, it will kind of be built into the sport and the Olympics, and people will be able to see that a lot. I'm not sure about Parisian culture specifically. I think it is quite different from the rest of France. As a girl born in Paris who loves Paris, I rate it, but I know the Americans hate Parisian. I'm interested to see how they'll cater for the international community that's traveling in to watch the games, whilst maintaining some of that Parisian bad bitch attitude.
So what aspects of French culture do you want to see exhibited in the Olympics?
I think a lot of background work needs to be done before they can even start doing that, because having banned, you know, Muslim women from wearing hijabs in sport in the Olympics, I think is really bad. So I'm really hoping they're going to somehow try and show cohesion and love for everyone and be able to treat everyone equally throughout the sport and celebrate all kinds of bodies, all kinds of people, faith, ethnicity, and I think that is what I want to see.
Yeah, just like the foods and the colours we wear, and as Lucy said, like the architecture and stuff. I think that's more important. We have that Tour Eiffel and stuff like that, but the smaller things in Paris that are equally as beautiful. It'd be nice to see that a bit more.
What smaller things?
Haussmannian, the really like high, beautiful buildings with like big windows, and it's like super grand and lovely.
Okay.
The Jardin as well,
okay.
all the jardins.
Lots of lovely jardin in Paris.
Do you feel Paris is prepared to ensure the safety of its residents and guests?
I think France is one of those countries that's a little bit more laid back, so I think to our English standards, who I think is overprotective and overly safe, probably not, but I think to the general European standards, absolutely. But the whole Seine thing, I don't know if you heard about
I didn't
this.
hear about this, I don't know what you're talking about.
So the mayor was going for a swim, she did the swim a few days
Okay.
ago, and everyone was in the Seine, or in areas of France to send it up for when she's going to be swimming in there. So
they hate her, they hate her.
the French just find an excuse to have these, but I don't know if I should say that on.
Oh, that's going on Instagram. People were shitting in the Seine so that the mayor would have Seine.
She's testing the waters. You know?
They don't like her. What world we live in?
No, but the French, they love to protest and, you know, find holes.
Okay.
So they found a few holes to
That's
in, basically.
amazing.
I think the French are very good at bringing in all the armed guards and making it look really scary. I don't know anything about their back of house security or anything like that. I mean, obviously there hasn't been that many problems in the last few years, but I know historically there was a higher rate of terrorism.
What lasting legacy do you hope the 2024 Paris Olympics will leave for its people, the city, and so on?
Definitely love and cohesion, and to be together and celebrate everyone for whatever body they have, whatever faith, whatever ethnicity, and like really come together, because I think there's still a lot of racism in France. And I do think that the games can really bring people together and at least try and attempt to rectify a lot of the shit that French politicians have propagated, especially with Le Pen. Le Pen, I'll say that. So hopefully that will bring together a bit more international spirit and a bit more community.
Talking about racism, why do you think there is racism to the extent there is in France?
The colonialist attitude of like we're right, our way's the highway, like our way's the right way, France l'Hexagone, and then pushing that onto everybody else and then expecting everyone to be on board with all the same values that we were having thousands of years ago, which are really outdated. And we live in an international world where we're connected with anyone around the world at any given point on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and we should celebrate that within our countries as well and not create that division. But I think, I don't know, there's a big far-right movement brewing in Europe in general, especially Northern and Eastern Europe, and I think it's contaminated a lot of France as well. And I just don't think there's enough strict laws protecting people against issues of racism or like hate crimes and things like that in France compared to the UK.
First of all, Allez les Bleus, support France, you know, always. Secondly, I think representation's a big thing because there are many different kinds of people from all over the world, and I think obviously that young people are doing the Olympics, and I think it's showing the younger part of France who are fighting for that. And I think even with the election that happened recently, it was the reason the left won was because of the younger generation, and I think this is a really important time. First of all, a left-wing government with a young team of many different sports with many different kinds of people. I think that's really important. And the last thing, the French team, probably the best dressed, always. And I think that's just one to remember.
So, fantastic, thank you so much. I'm here with
Sarah.
Sarah and Clara. How do you two know each other?
Well, we knew each other in high school.
Where are you from?
I'm from the suburb of Paris.
Okay.
Me too.
10 minutes from Paris.
Okay, so you're Parisian. Most of your lives you've lived in Paris.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. So this is really good. We've got first-hand experience of Parisians. Do you have any personal stories or connection to the upcoming Olympics?
Well, my story is just that I cannot walk in Paris anymore because of the Olympics, so everything is blocked.
Yeah.
Difficult to walk into any street, literally, and even we need a QR code to go to a few places like the Eiffel Tower. We cannot go there because we don't have the QR code. Go back to Paris Friday. I don't know how it will happen, but
So you're going to be there for the Olympics?
yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
How do you feel about France hosting the Olympics?
I think it's good, but I don't know if we are really prepared about that. We will see if it's good or not.
I think the same as my friend. I think it's a good idea, but well, I think we are not prepared.
Why do you think Paris isn't prepared for the Olympics?
The stadium were not ready, so I think that's the main reason, and also the police force.
I don't think it's about the police, the terrorism. I think there is a lot of pressure about that. I don't know if France is really prepared about.
Be secure against this terrorism.
Yeah, I don't know, but there is a lot of police in the streets, so I think it's gonna be okay.
What does it mean for you as French citizens to see Paris host the Olympics?
I'm happy to see my country represented in that.
Me also, I think it's a great honor to host the Olympics and to see to the world that we can host a big event like this.
What are you most excited about the Paris 2024 Olympics?
Football, the main sport that I'm watching.
Who's your favorite football player?
Not Kylian Mbappé.
Oh, okay. Not Kylian Mbappé. Why? What's your beef with Kylian Mbappé?
It's personal.
Did he turn you down when you asked him out? Is that it?
Ego is big. He left Paris Saint-Germain.
Okay.
I want to see all the sport because I like to watch sport with my mom.
So since you're both Parisians, how has and how will the Olympics affect Paris or Parisians and other people living in Paris?
Well, I think of course it will frustrate them because of the subway, of course, and also the QR code. I think at the end of the day they will see great maybe events and sports they can have. I know some friends that I free pass to a match. So I think it's at the end of the day a good idea.
What do you want to see showcased of French culture to the world?
Food, also monuments. In Paris there is Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, many museums, music also.
What is something that you love about French culture that you want the world to see as a result of the Olympics?
I think that French food is best. French food is really good.
So I had somebody saying yesterday they don't want to see a baguette shown. So what would you want to be shown in terms of French food?
Maybe pastry.
Okay.
I think they're tarte au citron, croissant, pain au chocolat, tarte citron meringuée, and a lot of pastry.
What lasting legacy do you want the Paris 2024 Olympics to have for the city and its people?
A great memory first.
A relationship with sports, with some sports. Lots of people only watch football, but I think there are also great sports like now escrime.
The sport.
Oh, fencing.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, and another sports like horsing, I don't see like most of people don't watch it. So
How do you think hosting the Olympics will influence generations to come in France?
for people to see Paris hosting the Olympics will make them safe, maybe to go to visit Paris, but also they will see that there is a lot of culture, food, sports, monuments, activities. So I think that they will be interested to visit Paris.
For Parisians and French people, what the lasting legacy will be?
A legacy with hosting people.
Okay.
We do actually host people, but we sometimes are not very happy with it. This time we will.
Better.
Yeah.
I hope so too, because I've been to Paris 3 times and it's been nice, but sometimes French people, Parisians are like, ah! Yeah.
I think the same thing. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. With
Patrice,
Patrice, nice to meet you. And you're from
Strasbourg.
Strasbourg. How do you feel about France hosting the 2024 Olympics?
It's a good thing for France
Why do you say that?
because it's a good thing for France. 100 years we are waiting for the Olympic Games.
Okay. Are you going to be attending? No?
I live too far from Paris.
What does it mean to you as a French citizen to see Paris host the Olympics?
It's a good thing, I said. A lot of people come from a lot of country in Paris, and Paris is a beautiful town.
How do you think the Olympics will impact Paris and its residents?
Some people say it's difficult to take subway or car or something else.
How do you think the Olympics will showcase France and French culture to the world?
Je suis impatient de voir comment ça va se passer et comment les choses vont être présentées pour voir exactement, pour avoir un vrai avis. Là, c'est difficile de le dire. En fait, il y a plein de choses qu'on va découvrir. Je suis impatient de les voir. Voilà.
What French elements are you excited about being shown in the Paris Olympics?
J'espère qu'on montrera un très bon côté de la culture française. La culture, l'ouverture d'esprit, l'amitié, le sport, accepter de perdre, puis être content de gagner.
How do you feel Paris is prepared to ensure the safety of its residents and participants in the Olympics?
I hope it will be alright.
I don't think there's been a terrorist attack in the Olympics, so hopefully that continues. What lasting legacy do you hope the 2024 Paris Olympics will have for Paris, its residents, and the nation overall?
A lot of people will discover Paris and France, and I hope it will be a good discovery for them.
Thank you so much. I'm here with
Youssef.
Yusuf. Nice to meet you, Yusuf.
I'm from France, French Algerian. Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in France.
What are you most excited about the 2024 Paris Olympics?
The 100 meters.
Okay.
As I always fun. I've been fun. I was doing it when I was little.
Who do you think will win?
I don't really know. I've seen the American one.
Okay.
He's taking it all the time.
No, Laos, I think.
I think Laos. Yeah.
What about the Jacobs guy? He won last time.
We will see.
Yeah.
We will see.
How do you think the 2024 Olympics will showcase French culture to the world?
They will try the diversity that they have and all that.
Are there particular parts of French culture that you'd like to see shown in the Olympics, and if so, what?
How they are organized. So if they show this, it's gonna go smooth. Usually they're very organized.
Fantastic,
Right?
thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
I'm here with
Zaiba.
Zeba. Nice to meet you, Zeba. What's your connection to France?
I am French. I was born there.
In which part of France did you live in, or do you live in?
I used to live in Paris.
How do you feel about France hosting the Olympics?
I know that they've been looking forward to it a lot. It's quite controversial at the moment because of the amount of money that's been spent on it. There are issues with the way that they've treated homeless people and students. But in terms of the sports events itself, I think it's a wonderful idea, opportunity for France.
What does it mean for you as a French citizen to see France, Paris host the Olympics?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to go, but we'll follow some of the events on the internet or on the telly. But yeah, no, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy for it to take place at home. Yeah.
What are you most excited about the Paris 2024 Olympics?
I think hopefully it will improve some of the sports infrastructure around, which would be great because we're not really a nation that puts a lot of emphasis on sports like the Americans or the Brits. So to have better infrastructure, more available for younger people or just for the population in general, I think that would be a really, really added bonus.
And how do you think the Olympics, or how do you know the Olympics is impacting Paris and its residents and France in general?
It's more anecdotal than anything, but I know that a fair amount of Parisians are going to run away to avoid some of the chaos. I know that people are very upset about the fact that transport prices have doubled up, which is nonsensical because people still have to work. I know that a lot of students have been literally kicked out of their student accommodations over the summer so that they could house either athletes or guests or foreigners who want to come and visit. I know that Some streets in Paris are completely blocked off with literal grillage, blockades taking place. So I don't know how practical it's going to be for Parisians. I don't know how much they're enjoying it themselves. Those are some of the negatives. I know that some landlords have put their houses on Airbnb and come up with ridiculously high prices as well. And it's not been as successful as they thought it would be.
Good.
We'll find out afterwards how it will have all panned out.
How do you think Paris is doing in terms of being prepared for the Olympics?
I know that they tried to clean up the Seine, the river, to have some of the nautical sports taking place there. And I think the mayor went to swim in it, but it sounds like they spent a lot of money on a particular swimming pool that was not fit for purpose.
How do you think the 2024 Paris Olympics will showcase French culture to the world?
Oh, that's going to be a controversial answer. Aya Nakamura was supposed to be the voice of the French Olympics, she's a Senegalese French singer, black, and extraordinarily popular amongst the younger generation. She sings rap. In light of everything that's happened recently in France and the elections, they basically backtracked completely and removed her, putting instead a woman called Ariel Dombal, who did an abysmal, as far as I'm concerned, performance, but she answered to the French aesthetic standard. White, blonde, yes. So, and I think it's a real shame because that doesn't represent France. Aya Nakamura she's not my kind of singer, but she represents what my country is from, and she's known worldwide, and she would have been a brilliant ambassador, and I think that's a real miss. It's a real shame.
Which French cultural elements are you excited to see displayed at the 2024 Olympics?
I would have hoped that the fashion for the team would be nice, but the Mongolian ones have actually far more beautiful sports clothes to wear. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. It's got embroidery. It really represents their culture beautifully. I thought it was absolutely stunning. I mean, you want it to be a coming together of all cultures. You want to be able, all of them, including the Palestinians. You want it to be as open and as much of a melting pot as it can possibly be.
Do you feel Paris is prepared to ensure the safety of its residents during the Olympics?
Yeah, no, we have unfortunately had enough incidents in the past that I would have thought we are, as a nation, we have gone through a lot, but I think we are very much prepared, yeah.
I hope so too. What lasting legacy do you hope 2024 Olympics will have for France and its people?
Oh, as I said, it's in terms of the infrastructure. It is enough of a beautiful sporting event that it inspires younger people to take up more sports and see that there's a career in there as well. Maybe we will take better care of our river.
How do you think hosting the Olympics will influence French generations to come?
I know that it's been a huge money pit, and like every other country, France is really struggling. Everybody is in a recession. Everybody is struggling to just live normally. So to see that amount of such vast amounts of money spent on a month or a month and a half, if you include the Paralympics, is probably disconcerting for a lot of people. But it will put us on the map, hopefully only for positives this time, and maybe it will drive tourism, maybe it will inspire people to take up sports, maybe it will remind us that we are all one nation, especially under that flag, and we need a little bit of good from time to time, and they can inspire us to that.
Fantastic, thank you so much, you've been amazing. Excuse me, are you French by any chance? French? Yes. Oh! Sorry, looking for French people all day. I'm a YouTuber, I'm looking to interview French people about their thoughts on the Paris Olympics. I think you'd be great on camera, would you do it? Parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous français? It's a lot harder than I thought it would be to find French people so far. Oh, excuse me, are you French by any chance? No. No, okay. Where are you from? Tell us so I find French. French by any chance? French? Anyone French? You French? Excuse me, are you French by any chance? French?
No, Swiss.
Oh, okay, sorry, thank you.